Hello guys, well, I'm going to make a new video. There is lots of people asking about the red line from Hataka. I have made a couple of demonstrations here in Portugal, but on Facebook I keep seeing people saying that it's difficult to paint with it, so I would like to share with you some things. Well, this is red line. Hataka set for US Army Air Force, composed by 4 different colors: US olive drab, medium green, US olive drab light, and neutral gray. You can see here. As usual, it's recommended to shake it really well, okay? Okay, it's okay. One of the questions people do is, can I use other thinners than Hataka ones? Yes, you can. Hataka have his own thinner, this one. But, for instance, if you have this one from Gunze or this one from Tamiya, you can use it also, so it's going to work with all of them. Here, at least here in Portugal, people use Tamiya a lot, so it's understandable if you have thinner at home that you are not going to waste money if you already have it, at least till you end it. So I'm going to pour. As you can see, I think I have the mix. Okay, I always say the same. Even from the same brand, you have different types of thickness on the paint. Some have more pigments than the others, so there is not the formula, but something between 40 of paint and 60 of thinner. It's okay, but you can also do the opposite, 60% of paint for 40 of thinner. So in this case I'm going to pour a little bit more. So I think here it's 50-50, something like that. Yeah. Not, I think it's visible that is not that thick. But if you like, you can always put a little bit more of paint or thinner, so it's not a problem. But start with the 50-50 mix. This is something that I previously prepare. This is an old kit. I apply a coat of Tamiya Primary, white one. And here it's Alclad or AK Extreme, something like that, that I clean it all only. So I'm going to, let's see if I don't do nothing wrong. Okay. Well, one of the tricks, not only with this paint but any paint, it's not to paint everything at the same at once. So we have to do it by coats. And as I usually say, the first one is only to cover. You are going to put something there to help the next coat to grab to the surface. If you put too much, well, you are going to soak the surface. So if you soak the surface, let me see, I hope it's visible. It will be hard to put something on a very wet surface. So The intention is not to cover it only with one application. So the trick is to apply a coat of paint, barely visible now. Probably when you reach the white it will be more visible, and as you can see, barely notice, even because the shiny surface of the metallic doesn't let it see, but no problem. So the first coat. The second coat is going to make a difference, and it's already, you can see it. Strange, because through my eyes there is more paint on the surface than on the camera, but probably. And another coat. Okay, so now if you let it dry, it's recommended. Here in Portugal it's raining a lot today, so there is lots of moisture in the air. Not good. I'm in front of a window, so some of the moisture is getting inside, but it's not the perfect conditions to paint, but it's okay. So what I'm doing, it's accelerating the process, the dry process. Don't use air dryer, at least with the hot hair, because it's going to make it's going to dry the upper surface of the paint, but below it's not dry enough, so there is no way from the thinner fumes get from there, because we make a barrier on top of the paint surface. Well, and another coat. So on the white primed area, it's notable that we are getting there with 3 coats of paint. Today is not a really good day to paint. But as you can see, there is no I'm going to put a little bit more. That one, yeah, okay, this one. For the video, I'm going to put a little bit more of paint to make it thicker. It will cover. Are you guys so clumsy as I am? Man. Almost there. I'm going to apply it here too. Well, this is the most important. The first layer of paint. You cannot soak the surface, okay? You apply it and you wait. Let it dry. It doesn't need to be completely dry, okay? But you will see when it's good to give another coat, because it's going to lose the gloss, and that is the indication that you can give another coat, another layer of paint. Well, it's easier to paint with the orange line since they are lacquer based, and lacquer evaporates really quick, so it's much easier to work with, no doubt about it. But there is the smell thing, so probably if you have a small room or area in the house that you are going to bother the family with the smell, it's not the best option. And you have the acrylic ones. It's almost inodor, so it doesn't smell nothing here, and the smell that you get is from the thinner, not from the paint. But meanwhile, this is almost ready for another coat of paint. So, and it's as easier as this. So well, this is also good to see the difference between what you get when you have a perfect surface with primer, or imagine that is putty or something. It's going to be much more difficult to cover, even if you apply the same amount of paint. This is not a straightforward thing to do, because we have to wait the paint to dry, but so now it's going to be easier and easier, because I have a really good coat of paint, and the paint that I'm spraying now, it's going to stay there more easily than when we start. Another thing that lots of people complain about is the clogging of the paint. Always getting stuck on the needle. Okay, so let me show you. I'm making a line, really thin line, and as you can see, well, with no fluids, with nothing, okay? Fluids, I mean those things that help the paint to fluid better. So, well, I can keep here till the end of the day, until I empty the paint I have on the airbrush, and I'm going to start again, and you can see that, well, no problem. Well, I know that if you use this, well, probably it's going to happen a lot. If you use others, okay, probably is going to happen. Not with this one, okay? I'm going to do it again. I'm going to make small splotches, and you can see that always paint flowing, mottling. I hope you can see this. Let me make zoom and okay. I was looking to the camera. Yeah, you can see it there. Nice. It's impossible to make a thinner line than the one I'm doing, and as you can see, no problem at all. So it flows really well in any conditions. So I will do it again for you to see there. Like I told you, I can't. Oh, sorry. Can keep going and going, and it will not get stuck. Sorry to control the area. Okay, let me do it again. So okay, so when you guys have that problem, really don't understand what happened. Well, if you make a pause and you let the paint dry inside, it's natural that that can happen, but otherwise no. No problem. So, well, problem here is the time that the paint is taking to dry, but I should wait a little bit more between layers. So this was the fourth layer, right? I think I lost the count, but well, you have it there. Over, lots of experiment done with this kit. Over a shiny surface like this one, you know that is almost impossible to paint, right? So we have to do the same. The first coat, it's not to cover, okay? To completely cover the surface. Only to let some paint there. First coat. And because it's very thin, let's see if I can magnifying this. Well, this is going to be a huge video. 18 minutes, shit. Okay. So here you can see the second coat. And I'm going to do another thing. I'm painting I'm building a P51 in the Rebel 32nd scale, and I will paint these color combinations, olive drab over aluminium soon. So meanwhile, this one is already dry, so So probably I have 60% of paint for 40 of thinner. It's not really thin. I like to apply it more thinned, but and you can see no more paint. Sorry. And you can see that I didn't clean the needle, I didn't do nothing, and it keeps flowing really well. So let's do it. Nice camouflage pattern here. And we are painting over alclad, okay, metallic surface, really nasty to paint over, but as you can see, the paint behaves really well. We cannot forget that we are painting with acrylics, okay, not lacquer, and even in that situation, well, this is one of the things I like to emphasize. Sorry if it's not well said, but you can see it flows amazingly. So no problem at all getting the paint stuck inside. Again, mottlings, small splotches and splashes and whatever. And well, because the video is really big, how much? Oh, 23 minutes. You can see that the paint is not dry yet. So what is going to happen if I put more paint? It's going to difficult this one to get dry, and probably is going to flood, to soak the surface, and then we start to have you know, I don't know the correct word in English for it, but lots of splotches, you know, things like this. There, paint is going to get together in some points, and you will not get a plain perfect surface. So the trick is to let the paint dry. Don't use, like I told you, there is lots of people doing it, air dryer with hot air. Well, if you want to use the air dryer, at least do it with cold air, okay? And once the gloss, the shiny look is lost, went away, you can apply another one. And here, trying to show you another coat. I don't remember. I think this is the third one, probably. And okay, there. 3 coats of paint, and you have the surface almost ready. Well, depends of what you want to do, but for me it's enough with the weathering process, oils and pigments and all the rest. You don't need to put more paint here. So over the primary, well, the primary probably was not well dried, and I have put lots of paint here, so you can see it's not yet dried. Let me tell you, if it was June, July, August, in 1 minute the paint would be dry, you know. Today, at least 20 minutes since the first coat, and it will take some more minutes. Okay, I'm going to give a last one. I think you guys already understand. You saw already understand the major rule, not to soak the surface and do it in thin layers. Well, if you are a experienced modeler, you will not have any kind of problem with this paint, I can assure you. And the last one. Not dry, I'm going to put lots of paint here as well. Okay, I hope this will help you. If you have any question, please feel free to ask it on Facebook or send me a message on email, something. As you can see, this stuff is really good, okay? No major problem painting with it. You only need to understand the way to do it, and respecting that, no major problem will happen. Bye guys.